Givers have to have a limit because takers do not have any. Why are you saying yes when you know you really want to say no? It's no way you should be pouring all this energy in yourself just to give it to somebody else. You have to be okay with being called a boring friend. Love is unconditional, but your presence is not.
I'm too classy for this world. Forever I'm that girl. Need you diamonds and pearl. Oh baby, I'm too classy to be touched. I pick them all in dust. I'm sent you in.
Hey Benji babes, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for the support. As you can see by the title, today we are talking about being selfish. The good kind of selfish, not the bad selfish that people try to call you when they want to guilt trip you and make you feel bad. The word selfish always has like a negative connotation to it, so I feel like we need to make it positive. Like, it's okay to be selfish. Like, people don't, when you're doing everything that somebody wants you to do and they can call on you for favors all the time and they know you're always going to be there, they're not calling you selfish. They call you selfish when you're not complying, when you're not being that shoulder they can lean on and that person they can deplete and take from. That's when they want to call you selfish. So I feel like that word is a guilt trip kind of word, make you feel bad about yourself. And you shouldn't be doing that. Okay? Can y'all see my glass? Think pink. It's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So shout out to all my survivors, my fighters, and condolences to anyone who lost someone to breast cancer. Y'all know I got my notes, that we never follow. Let's see, what do I want to talk about first? Okay, to just be on topic from what that little ramble was in the beginning. Treat your energy and your time and everything like a currency. If you go to that bank and you try to take out money that you don't have, the bank ain't gonna let you do that. So do not allow people to take your energy and deplete you if you don't have it to give. What's that quote? Givers have to have a limit because takers do not have any. And if that ain't facts, if you're that people pleaser, that strong one that people can always call on and ask favors from and do stuff like that, it's time. It's time to say, F them. What about me? This is my life. I don't have no kids. That's like the only little thing I'ma give y'all. If y'all got little babies and stuff, them the only people that you can't be like 100% selfish towards. You feel me? But if you're a parent, you're gonna have to be a little bit of selfish with your time and pour into yourself and make sure you're not fully depleted by having to be full-time mom, full-time career, full-time everything else without but you know what, we're not going to talk about all that because that's like a whole whatever. But yes, we're talking about a healthy selfish, setting healthy boundaries. That way you can still pour into your life and do everything that you want to do. If you want to be able to say yes to these people later, you're going to have to say no to them now. If you're not in a place where you want to be, if you're not hitting those marks like you need to hit them, it's time to really, get on man time and take your time and your energy back. Okay? Okay. What? The reason that I even wanted to get on this topic and talk about this is because I had two instances that happened kind of back to back. And I was mad as a mother. The first incident, I was more so disappointed and hurt because when you are always there for somebody and even if you're not even in a space to be there for somebody and you make sacrifices to still show up for somebody, and then you realize the energy is not reciprocated, or you get in a situation and they're not there for you like you thought they would be, it hurts. So I don't know, I was sitting with that and then a couple days later Yeah, I don't even think it was week spans before these instances happened. But then there was another situation. I'm like, dang, like, I'm telling him, like, you treat these people like such and such, but then you treat me like whatever. And I was mad. And I've learned how to be one of those people who stop doing this and do this. Because what they did to me wasn't them. It wasn't their fault. It was mine. Because I allowed them to get me to a space where I could feel resentment towards them, where I could feel unappreciated by them. And when you're overextending yourself to people and making sacrifices to people that they may or may not be aware of that you're doing, and you don't feel that same kind of love back, it's kind of your fault. Because why are you even doing things that you really don't want to do? Why are you saying yes when you know you really want to say no? And you'll take a situation that's not even that serious, and then it's like, okay, I'm done with this person. I don't want to talk to this person no more. Like, F them. And it doesn't warrant all of that. But because you're so in your feelings and you did all this stuff, you resent them now. And now you feel like they did something to you, but really you put yourself in a position for them to do any of this. Like, it was just a crazy realization. And I told myself, you are going to start being selfish. You are going to start saying no. Stop trying to break your neck for all these people, because I don't have kids. You know, I don't have kids yet. So it ain't really nobody I need to be breaking my neck for. And really going out of my way to make sure they're good and they happy and la-di-da-di-da. So yeah. But yeah, somebody called me and they was like venting to me about a situation or whatever, and I'm giving them feedback or whatever. Then a few days later they called me again and they talking about another situation, and so I let them get their piece out. But then I told them, I don't like when people dump on me. I can't help you with that situation. Why don't you have a solution already you're thinking about for that problem? That's like a pet peeve of mine. Like, I don't like it when people are constantly complaining about stuff, but they not even weren't thinking about a solution. Like, okay, this is going wrong, but what we gonna do to fix it? And I have like a problem solver personality. Like, I always want to help people and try to fix things for people. And I realized that was a part of me depleting myself. And I do so much self-care. I do so much, a mindfulness work. So say I'm doing all this 5 days straight. Monday through Friday, I'm pouring into myself. I'm doing my self-care. I'm like really, I'm gonna just leave it at self-care. And then on Saturday, I go hang out with my family or my friends or whatever, and they're just like pulling on me from every which way, energetically, or any other way, maybe financially or whatever. And now by Sunday, I just feel so pooped again. It's no way you should be pouring all this energy in yourself just to give it to somebody else. Like, where does that don't make no sense. And that's something I had to realize, and I would feel bad those little times that I would say no. Before I got to this space right now, before, say if somebody calling me and I know I don't want to talk, I don't answer the phone, but I feel bad about it. Like, dang, I should have answered the phone. I wonder what they wanted or whatever. And that is because I'm a very sympathetic person. So I always try to put myself in another person's shoes or try to see how they would feel so that I don't make them feel crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm not in charge of anybody else's emotions, well-being, or whatever. So why am I putting that burden on myself? Like, it's okay if you don't want to answer the phone, Nadia. It's okay if you don't want to text back. You're not obligated to do any of these things. But I feel like when you're, like I said, a people pleaser, you worry about how other people are going to perceive you or what other people are going to say. And you can't do that on a journey of self-discovery and just on a journey in general to reach your goals and be the person that you are supposed to be here on earth. So I guess piggybacking off of that, don't feel bad for wanting to be alone and wanting not and not wanting to participate in certain things. I was talking to a friend, and we're kind of like in the same space right now mentally about a lot of things. We feel like we're partied out. We're like, certain things just don't interest us anymore. We don't want to hang out and go to the bars and drink and do stuff like that people our age are doing. And when he said it, I'm like, oh my God, we so young. We need to be doing it. Mind you, this is how I already was, thinking on my own. But I guess hearing it come out of somebody else's mouth made me reflect on it a little bit. So I'm like, yeah, we need to start doing stuff again. We need to start being out. I'm like, dang, we so boring. Like, we acting old. We not old. We need to make memories. You have to be okay with being called a boring friend, because you locked in with your goals and what you got going on. You have to be okay with the friend that never want to hang out anymore, because if they're really your friend, they're gonna understand why you're doing what you're doing. Plus, I feel like both me and him was like young and turned at an early age, like doing stuff we were supposed to be doing at 15, 16, whatever the case may be. So that's why we feel a little more chill, I guess. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I feel like when you're selfish with your energy and your time, you save yourself from being in situations that you're not supposed to be in. Or you save yourself from being in situations that could have turned out poorly for you. If your body, mind, spirit is telling you not to do something, don't do it, because it might not be the best outcome after that. I don't know where really I was going with that, but yeah, it'll save you from being in a lot of situations. You're going to lose some people along the way, but you're going to be losing the right people, if that makes sense. Because if you start changing up how you're being present for somebody and that makes them change the way they feel about you, then they're not supposed to be in your life anyway. So, and you can love somebody and care about somebody, but still remove them from your vicinity, remove them from your bubble, because like they say, everybody can't go. And love is unconditional, but your presence is not. I'll say that one more time. Love is unconditional, but your presence is not. Sometimes being connected to the wrong people can be the reason why you're not hitting that next mark in your life. You don't want people to start taking you for granted and not appreciating you. And not to say you do things for the credit or the applause or whatever the case may be, but it's nice to know if you're going out your way for somebody that they truly appreciate it. Simple. Like, yeah. Most of the time, or sometimes, I'll say sometimes, when you're going out your way to keep helping somebody, you're either blocking your own blessings or you're stopping them from learning the lesson that they need to learn. And I say that to say you have this one person that they need to learn financial responsibility, but they are reckless with their money, and they know if they ever down bad or they really need some help, they can call on you to get it. You're blocking that person from learning financial responsibility because they feel like they always have you to lean on, to call on when they need, some help. And that person is not gonna ever know how to be smart with their money, how to manage their money. You didn't allow them to go through that rough stage to feel like they're at their bottom, so that they know, look, I don't want to feel like this again, so let me tighten up. And then you're blocking your blessings because God is trying to teach you how to be more financially responsible as well. But even if you have it, doesn't mean you have to give it away. I feel like that was a good point because I had it written down. This video, I don't want it to be long. I feel like it didn't really need to be long. There was just like some key points that I wanted to talk about. And if you carry, some of these things, then you're not going to feel so terrible when you don't want to answer that phone, hang out, text back, and do stuff like that you don't feel like doing. Okay? Anytime that you're in a situation and your answer isn't automatically yes, and you're not excited to say yes, say no. And don't feel bad about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't let anybody guilt trip you about it and make you feel bad about it, because like I said, the word selfish has a negative connotation, but I feel like if you are being selfish with healthy boundaries, then it could change your life. I spoke about that in one of my previous videos. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you shouldn't be just pouring from an empty cup to somebody. It should be a balance, and you shouldn't actually feel depleted when you're doing things with somebody or for somebody. You shouldn't have to feel the lack of after, or feel used after, or feel like, dang, why did I do that? And I really didn't want to do that. So stop caring about what other people think. Yes, let them call you selfish, but they'll see later down the line why you had to be that way. And that's okay. As long as you're not being selfish for the wrong reasons and you're not hurting anybody else in the process, everything should work out in your favor.